It's 8 a.m. in Philadelphia, and Tom Keyser is on his way to work. Unlike most people, Tom's office isn't in a tower block several hundred meters up. It's actually several floors down in a huge, high-security underground bunker. The reason for all this security is this is the heart of the electricity power grid, and Tom is part of a team who are responsible for ensuring 51 million people across 13 different states are kept supplied with the power they need. This central control room is manned 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Up to 50 people work here at any one time, monitoring this vast board, which shows the output of over 1,000 different power stations. Their job is to make sure the stations deliver power to the main grid exactly at the moment it's needed. As demand goes up, they need to switch more stations online. As it goes down, they have to take stations offline. Too much or too little power, and the entire electricity supply system will fail, and 51 million people will be without power. It's a difficult balancing act when things go as expected. But barely 10 minutes after Tom has arrived, he's faced with a sudden problem.
Can you get that?
Major unit just tripped offline out in the western part of the system. We didn't get a phone call yet for the reason why it tripped.
With a major power station no longer supplying its share of power to the grid, there's now a shortage of electricity. It's up to Tom and his team to act fast to find a way to make up for the shortfall. But this isn't the only problem. 500 kilometers away, a tropical storm is blowing in from the south, and before it hits, there's a major stretch of cables in need of urgent repairs. These high-voltage lines are kept apart by a series of spacers which prevent them from touching and causing a short circuit. But these spacers have become old and worn, and the approaching high winds could cause them to fail, allowing the lines to touch and blacking out an entire district. The trouble is, they can't simply turn off the power to go and fix them, or they'll leave thousands of people without electricity. Fortunately, the power company has the answer in the form of one MD-500 helicopter and its fearless crew, pilot Tracy Albrecht and lineman Dwayne and Spider.
I've been doing it 20 years now. It's kind of a lot of fun job. I worked at a power company in Florida for 19 years as a lineman before that, and thought that was the best job in the country until I found this one.
Every day, Spider risks his life by clambering onto live power cables, carrying enough electricity to instantly turn him into a smoking lump of toast. All that protects him from meeting a shocking end is his skill and a very special set of overalls. These overalls are called hot suits, and their magic ingredient is steel thread woven into the fabric. In theory, the steel thread in the suit will conduct the electricity more efficiently than Spider's body. So when he touches the cables, the power will flow around him and not through him.
The dangers in this is not having it electrically connected. You'll see I put on my hot socks to begin with, which has the steel thread through those. And those I will go ahead and bond to my pants, and that's enough to have that flow of electricity flowing over top of you and not sitting there and eating you up with static electricity.
Spider knows that if he gets anything wrong at this stage, he'll wind up doing more than just blowing his socks off. Pilot Tracy also dons a hot suit because when they make contact with the line, the helicopter and everything in it will be energized by the same 500,000 volt charge.
Hear it.
Even with all their precautions, there's no getting away from the risks of the job. Just a week ago, a crewman was killed in a crash a few hundred kilometers away. With the team booted and suited, the ground crew prepare the chopper with a special platform, which is electrically connected to the aircraft's body. First up is Dwayne, and once he's safely harnessed to the platform, they're finally ready to take to the sky. They know that any lapse in concentration now could prove fatal.
Everybody ready? Ready.
It's up to Tracy to maneuver the chopper as close as he can. It's a perilous procedure. A sudden gust of wind could easily push them into the cables with catastrophic consequences. As they draw closer, Dwayne must use a special metal wand called a hot stick to electrically bond himself and the aircraft to the lines. If he gets this wrong, the power could arc across and simply knock them out of the sky. Suddenly, the sparks really start to fly. The chopper is now electrically bonded to the line, and Dwayne can get down to the business of fixing the old worn spacers. While pilot Tracy battles to keep the chopper in position, Dwayne must work as quickly as he can. Every second spent hovering next to the line is fraught with danger. After 5 anxious minutes, Dwayne finally has the new spacer in place, and they slowly pull away, using the hot stick to electrically disconnect from the line. As the chopper lands, Dwayne discharges any remaining static to Earth. But they're not done just yet. That was the simple bit. It's now Spider's turn. Somehow, they now have to fit dampers to the lines in the form of small weights. These will stop the lines swinging in high winds. The trouble is, they need to be fitted right next to the pylons, meaning Spider will have to climb off the chopper and crawl along the lines. As Spider prepares to disembark, Tracy must keep the chopper in precisely the right position, while somehow simultaneously monitor exactly what he's doing.
When you're working on an energized line, that pilot needs to know everything that you're doing and what you're going to do. And you need to know what that pilot's reactions are going to be.
It's up to Tracy to hold the machine perfectly still. But hovering in one spot is the hardest part of flying a helicopter, and he must do it just inches from the live wires. Meanwhile, it's down to Spider to earn his nickname and take a walk on the wild side. "50 meters above ground, and with only a harness to keep him safe, this is no job for the faint-hearted." And Spider slowly crawls along the live wires to the area where he must fit the dampers. But even once he's finished fitting them, he won't be out of danger. One false move as he tries to get back on board the chopper could prove fatal.
Everybody that's been on this platform has had a shock. If you make a mistake, you're going to draw an arc, and it's going to hurt.
The chopper slowly draws up to the lines, and Spider carefully bonds on before unclipping his line harness and clambering back on board. After a tense 30 minutes on the lines, Spider's work for the day is finally complete. And despite the obvious dangers, the chopper and its live wire crew remain the quickest way to service the lines. The job is finished just minutes before the storm hits. But whilst the spacers and dampers protect the power lines from high winds, nothing can stop the huge pylons acting like lightning rods, and a single strike has the potential to cause a massive power surge. Somehow, the power company need to stop these surges reaching the end user. Or every time there's a strike, it'll blow up every TV in the neighborhood. So before the power from the lines runs into the city, it first comes to one of these. This field full of aluminium tubing is a substation, and it uses a giant circuit breaker to prevent lightning surges reaching your home.
If you're sitting around in the evening and there's a thunderstorm going on and you see your lights flicker, that type of 1 second flick that you see on your lights is this breaker dealing with the fault on the line.
But the substation is more than just a safety mechanism. If you tried connecting your electric toaster to the 500,000 volt supply in the power lines, it wouldn't be your bread that got toasted. So these giant transformers convert the power into a lower voltage and then route it to your home. Back at the grid control center, Tom Keyser is dealing with the shortage caused by the failed power station.
Major unit just tripped offline, but we're taking action now to recover from it.
To make up for the shortfall, he's calling on one of the power stations kept in a state known as spinning standby.
If it doesn't recover right away, we'll go out with spinning.
These stations are kept constantly ready for just this kind of emergency. And with the correct power once again flowing to the grid, the crisis is averted.
Frequency's coming back.
So Tom breathes a sigh of relief knowing he won't have 13 million people calling him up to complain about their power supply. Meanwhile, 300 kilometers away in Philadelphia, Joe Bloggs can fix a cup of tea and a slice of toast and settle down to watch How Do They Do It on the TV, oblivious to the epic work taking place behind the scenes to bring this essential, invisible power to our homes 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.